So today I'm going to talk about items that you can stop buying in order to start saving a lot of money right now. A lot of these items are things that we take for granted or that we are in the habit of just purchasing, maybe because they used to be necessary or because we've seen other people just own these or use these things often, but they aren't really a necessary part of our lives. Hopefully, when I point some of these items out, you can see which ones you can afford to cut. Maybe some won't be as applicable to you, but I hope to offer some alternatives, and hopefully everyone can find at least a source of a little bit of savings here and there with this video. And since I respect your time, let's hop straight into it, and let's talk about the first item, which is bottled water. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't apply to everyone because a lot of the world simply doesn't have access to clean tap water. However, if you do happen to live in an area with access to tap water that is clean and reliable, there's pretty much no reason why you would buy bottled water. If you worry about things such as the quality of the water that comes out of your tap, you can buy something such as a filter that will hopefully help the water taste better and be more palatable for you. If you're worried about going out and not having a source of water, you can simply buy a really big water bottle and just take that and fill it with tap water before leaving your house. And if you happen to live in a place that doesn't have access to clean and safe tap water, you can actually buy those huge jugs of water that are maybe 20 liters or 5 gallons or so, and you can buy sort of a dispenser for it and just drink from that, and you'll actually save some money over time because it's much cheaper to buy those huge jugs of water in bulk rather than buying a lot of little bottles of water, and you'll also be reducing your plastic waste, which is great for the environment. So really, it's a win-win. The next item is incredibly similar to the item we just talked about, and this is coffee and tea. A lot of people go to Starbucks or other coffee and tea shops every single morning in order to get their daily dose of coffee or tea. The thing is, you can make this at home and you can make it for a lot cheaper. In fact, the purchase of a coffee machine or a tea kettle can actually help you a lot when it comes to saving money in the long run. Would you rather pay $20 for a set of bags of tea that can maybe last you a month? Or would you rather pay maybe $4 or $5 every single time you buy some new tea at the local shop? Likewise, if you work at an office and that office happens to offer free coffee or tea, then you should definitely be taking advantage of that instead of purchasing it on some other store. But if you want full control over your coffee or tea experience, then it's highly recommendable to start making it at home. Buy the kinds you like at the supermarket, figure out what you like and what you don't, and then go on from there. And hopefully it can be an enjoyable experience making the coffee or tea for you, and likewise saving all the money that you're going to save up in the long run, which can add up to hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. Another item in a similar vein is anything to do with alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs or addictive substances of any sort. The fact that these are usually addictive substances and that people consistently fall into having a vice related to this substance means that you will be purchasing this very, very frequently whenever you go to stores or whenever you go online. At the end of the day, over the course of years, this may add up to thousands of dollars. And the fact is, a lot of these addictions can simply be prevented by consuming less or by not consuming them in the first place. And I'm not saying don't consume any substances at all, but rather I'm saying be smart about how you do it and be smart about how frequently you do it. Do you really need to go out to the bar and drink every single night? That's gonna add up. An alternative can simply be to get the drinks that you would otherwise have at a bar or a restaurant and just buy a full bottle and drink it at home. That will be considerably cheaper and will help you save up over time. Likewise, if you're currently facing an addiction, that's a very serious thing, and I hope the financial incentive of saving up something over time can help you fight that addiction and eventually overcome it. Think about it as something that's not only good for your financial health, but also for your physical health. Now, moving on to the next item, we have stuff that is the latest fashion when it comes to clothes. A lot of clothing stores are designed to be this fast fashion sort of model where they're pumping out new stuff every single time, they're pumping out seasonal stuff every single time. And in reality, you should ask yourself if you really, really need to have the latest fashion or the latest thing in season, right? Besides, I may not be a huge fashion expert, but at the same time, I'm sure there's ways to dress incredibly fashionably without dropping a huge amount of money every single time a store changes what they have in their lineup. You can buy outfits that have different combinations together, and that way you can always try something that feels somewhat new. You can look at thrift stores or even buy used clothes if you're comfortable with it, or even start looking for more durable clothes if you don't mind wearing the same thing very frequently frequently for a long period of time. Likewise, when we're talking about what's fashionable, I always want to talk about getting the latest tech. Some people get a new phone every single year without even needing a new phone. These phones haven't broken, these phones haven't gotten slower, they just get the latest phone every single time. If you do this, you should ask yourself, do I really need the latest phone or even the best phone necessarily? Technology is improving quickly, and phones that may cost even $300, $200, even $99 are quite competent nowadays. Besides, if you're buying a phone for a very huge amount of money, you would expect that phone to have some durability and to last a while for you. Getting the latest tech may be fun to try out, but if you don't need it for work or something related to that, well, it's not really a necessary purchase, and it's something you could cut out really easily that could save you at least a couple $100s a year. Likewise, there's a lot of cool new tech coming out, for example, a smartwatch, where a lot of people do find really good use with the smartwatch. However, I see some other people just buying it because it's cool. However, I would hate to buy something that is incredibly expensive and then just have it sitting by the wayside because I don't actually need it. This is really just a reminder to take a step back every so often and ask yourself if you really need those things that you say you want. If you really do happen to need them, or if they'll add significant value to your life, totally go for them. But if not, maybe something like a smartwatch or like the latest cell phone that came out isn't really necessary, and you can skip out on this purchase entirely. The last item on this list, I think, is one that a lot of people fall into, and that's simply cable TV. Cable subscriptions aren't really necessary nowadays in a lot of the world. At least if you happen to have a really good internet signal, you can simply buy a smart TV and connect Netflix on it, or simply watch YouTube or get any other premium TV service or on-demand service, and you don't really need a cable subscription anymore. Oftentimes these on-demand services are also a lot cheaper than a cable TV subscription, so you can just cancel this outright. Likewise, it's time to check how many on-demand services you have. Maybe you have a little too many and some that you're really not using, so it's time to take a step back and ask yourself, which of these services that have monthly subscriptions do I really want to keep and which do I really want to cut off? You could be saving yourself quite a chunk of money every single month if you cut off just 1 or 2 services. Or likewise, if you really want to watch something that's in a particular on-demand service, you could just subscribe for a single month and watch what you want to watch and then just unsubscribe immediately after. I firmly believe there's many ways to save money, and I hope these ideas inspired some people to look at ways in which they can evaluate the purchases they're making that actually make them lose money in the long run. And another tip that I'm going to give isn't really something that you're currently buying right now, but something that I think everyone should have, which is start making purchases that have some cashback bonus. This cashback bonus can come in the form of an app, like for example Rakuten, which gives you a certain percentage cashback bonus when you shop at certain shops, or apps like Pay or Dosh, which also give you cash back for shopping at certain stores when you link your card or your bank account. Or you can do something way more simple and look at the back of a supermarket receipt and look at which coupons are available there. You can also pretty much Google coupon codes for every single website that you think of making an online purchase on. You would be surprised at the amount of coupons that you find. If you would like to sign up for some of these cashback apps, then there are some links down in the description for some apps that give you a bonus for signing up, and then will give you additional bonuses for making purchases at valid merchants. Now, this is the end of the list for today, but I hope I helped you find at least some purchases that maybe are losing you money in the long run, or some that you deem unnecessary nowadays, and hopefully you can change that behavior and save a lot more money in the long run. And when you have more savings, you actually have more money available to invest. And if you're interested in investing in the stock market at all, I would highly recommend for you to use Webull as your broker. I have found Webull to be an excellent app where you can trade stocks, ETFs, even cryptocurrencies nowadays, and they have no additional fees and excellent charting tools and advanced tools for anyone who wants to dive really deep. There's a link down in the description, and it'll give you 4 free stocks if you sign up and deposit at least $100. Now, I want to know if you have any other purchases in your mind that are actually losing you money, or you think are traps that some people may be falling into. Hopefully people can find out about even more purchases that are really unnecessary, and hopefully everyone can increase their savings together. I want to know what you have to say, and I'll respond to every single comment. If you like what you see, I would love it if you like this video and subscribed. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And hopefully you can stay tuned, because there's more new videos to come that have to do with savings, with investing, and with personal finance in general. So with that said, I'll see you on the next one.